What's up, Copy Squad? It's your boy Kyle Milligan coming to you live from Delray Beach, Florida. And today I want to talk about this one copywriting lesson. Skip this one copywriting lesson and you will always make exactly $0. So today's lesson brought to you in part by another writer at Agora Financial who makes more money than me. And one of the things that's really cool about this guy is he has his career is very similar to mine at the beginning, and he didn't have the same benefits and I guess like quote privileges I had, yet he makes way more money than me now. So what do I mean by the same benefits or privileges? Well, I had the luck. So essentially, whenever you start writing copy, you should anticipate that 1 out of 4 of your sales promotions or like your big sales letters or whatever actually hits and becomes like a big hit. Well, I had a series of hits actually like right out of the gate when I first started writing copy that caught fire right away. Among them, like hottest IPO, Trump bonus checks are the big 2 that everybody seems to know. And I got an opportunity to write for Robert Kiyosaki for his Rich Dad Retirement Masterclass. So I had a lot of really big opportunities, and you know, two out of those really panned out in a big way for me. And this guy, not exactly the same sort of circumstances. What was similar about our careers starting out, and I'm going to tell you with one mistake that once you learn this lesson, you'll know exactly why you're making $0 if it is the case. So one of the things that he has done in his early part of his career was he wrote like 12 sales letters or something, inordinate amount of sales letters in his first year. He wrote an enormous amount of copy. And I think maybe 1 or 2 of them like really caught on. So let's say 2 out of 12, right? And again, he, like I say, he didn't have the exact same privileges or luck that I had coming out of the gate, firing off and like having like 2 catch fire and become controls and run for over a year. However, out of like those 12 that he put out, 2 were really solid and really dug in there, like really sunk in, right? So those 2 actually have been running for quite some time, and they're still running. And as a result of like the first 10 or however many promos he put out, he has accumulated enough, like even his base hits, right? Maybe they weren't monster hits, but he had base hits, right? He made a couple bucks off of every like attempt. So they weren't complete. Like you don't put out something and usually get 0 sales. You usually get some sales, maybe not as many as you want. But yeah, so accumulation of like those first 10 attempts plus the 2 that caught fire, right? So 12 attempts. I don't know if I've had 12 in my career. So he's just been prolific at putting out copy. Now, this dude makes more money than me and is still writing more copy than me. And I think this is the one copywriting lesson that I want to convey today. Skip this one copywriting lesson and you'll always make exactly $0. And the copywriting lesson is always be writing. Always be creating is probably a better term. I think creating works more for the broader audience. For instance, one of the reasons that I'm able to do well on this YouTube channel, for instance, is I keep always perpetually creating new content and new videos. And I've seen like the reason that this dude is doing so much better than me, even though we started around the same. Actually, I started a little bit before him. He's doing way better than me because he's basically doubled my output. So it's the output. Like we cannot control whether or not we produce hits. To a certain extent, we can try our hardest to write really good copy, but we cannot control whether or not it's a, game changer that we write, right? The market kind of decides that for us. But this dude is constantly testing ideas, and he doesn't really do a lot of pitching and sharing of the ideas before he just starts writing them, right? And I was thinking about that today because I'm in that phase, in between phase, where I'm looking for the next project, and I'm having one of those moments where it's like, well, I have these ideas, I don't know if they're going to work, and every time I pitch, I get to hear more reasons why my ideas won't work. And I came to the resolution today, like I just need to write this up and produce it and get it out. And that was one of those like weird realizations that I knew all along, but then it's like, it's one of those things that's super easy to say and then very difficult to execute. Like, what should I write? Is this idea going to work? Should I spend a month trying to research and create this if it might not work? Well, the truth is, if it doesn't work, it'll probably catch a couple sales and I'll make some money. I won't make any money. I will make exactly $0 if I am not writing something and trying to produce something. So I think that was like a huge thing. And I think what's crazy is even though that's sort of my message, you know, like part of it is like you always need to be writing and practicing and writing and practicing. It even happens like I freeze up, like, well, I don't want to put out something, like I feel like I'm under the microscope with the YouTube channel, right? What if I write a bomb? What if I write a flop? And everyone like thinks, oh my God, this he's a fraud. He wrote a bad promotion. He didn't sell $1 million on his first attempt or whatever. And that kind of thing, you know, kind of gets under your skin and sticks in your brain. And it's funny, and I can actually tie it to something that I want to show you today, which I'm really excited about. So most of you follow me know about my book. It's called Take Their Money. It's available at kylethewriter.com/book. And I want to show you something that I'm really excited about. Sales letter course. So I want to show you a screen, if I can do this. That's not right. How about this? There it is, sales letter creation. Okay, so finally I've got something up and running here. I'm really excited about this. This is like the little sales letter creation course. Basically, you watch me create the sales letter for my book, Take Their Money. And the sales letter is at kylethewriter.com/book. If someone wants to type that in the comments, I'd appreciate it. It'd be cool. So here's the sales letter. We went over it in yesterday's video a little bit, just talking about the mechanism that makes a sales letter work. Well, I've created a course where I show you step by step by step how I built this sales letter. I show you this is the promo that I modeled it after and how I used what that promo did to make my sales letter work. And then I show you, here I am, there's all my notes in the margins over here. You can't really read it from here, but I'm going over line by line how I wrote this promo. Here's my research doc, okay? I'm going over all the stuff like how I researched the emotion, the new buying emotion. So the big 4 emotions, new, easy, safe, and big. You can kind of see it here maybe. If it's in high def, you can make out it says new there in that research doc, okay? So then I'm going over safe, me doing the research for the safety emotion. Here, see all this red? This is all the edits I had to make and why I made them with notes attached to the side. So what I want to bring to your attention, so first off, this course should be live hopefully next week, because the hardest part has been creating the membership sort of like, or sales page, like how do I deliver all these videos? So the course should be live like next week. Shout out to my man, Tommy G, for helping me set this up. Very appreciative. He's been a huge help. But what I want to point out, and it's funny because I just made this course, and in the course, while I'm writing the sales letter, I know I have my product, right? I didn't know what my mechanism necessarily was, but I just knew I had to write this sales letter. So in the first couple drafts, you're going to see that like, okay, well, I just got to start putting something on the page. And I don't actually have a full grasp of what it is I'm going to write. And it's funny because now I have a project for Agora Financial coming up, and it's like I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to write. And what's crazy is Kyle in this video, Kyle on this course right here would tell me, like this Kyle would say, man, you got to put something in the page. You got to be writing, you got to be writing, you got to be writing. And that's me, right? Talking to me. And then at the same time, when it comes time for me to do it on another project, it all resets. It all goes, I go through the same cycle almost every single time. But I have to remind myself time and time again, like why that one dude who's outpacing me, who came to Agora Financial after me and has far outproduced me and is now out earning me. What's he doing all day, every day? He's writing. He's writing constantly. And then in this video, the first 3 videos while I'm setting up the sales letter and doing my research, I'm just writing stuff. I'm just writing. I'm producing content. I'm getting stuff on the page so that I can go back, mix and match it, tweak it later, but I'm not really beating myself up about the quality, right? I'm just getting stuff on the page, and I'll show you that inside this video series, which I'm really excited to launch. I think that'll be live on, well, let's just say next week. I don't know how long it's going to take to get this where I can accept like money that will give you access to these pages. That's the hard part. The technical part's like, I'm so stupid at that. I got a guy helping me, Tommy G, thanks for your help very much. As a bonus, you're also going to get this Facebook compliance video series where I take the letter, and this is all a rough draft, and I basically show you how I took that letter and turned it into Facebook compliant, and this last video here is me getting it approved on Facebook ads. Here's the research course. The research course has been repurposed to look like this instead of what it's just a pile of videos in a folder that I send to people now when they buy it, but now I'm trying to give you access to these pages where you can watch how I did the research for Rich Dad's Retirement Masterclass sales letter. You can see some screenshots here. A little bit of a giveaway, little teasers inside the video frames. But yeah, I'm really excited to have all this stuff going. And I think, again, what's really been able to make me grow this YouTube channel, we hit Well, this is Facebook Live, but on YouTube we hit 600 subscribers. Thanks so much. That's really cool. I kind of just like blinked and I was at 32 subscribers, and then I was at 600. So that's really exciting. Glad to have all of you. Glad you're watching. Hope you find this helpful. And I just want to again reiterate that if you want to succeed with copywriting, or let's say if you want to know for sure that you're going to fail, don't write anything. I think that's the big lesson here, is that you have to be producing. You can't necessarily control the outcomes, but you can control the inputs. And that means it might be difficult to say, I'm going to write 5 blockbusters this year, right? But maybe that's out of your hands, but you can control that you are going to write 10 promos or something like that. Not 10 promos, you're going to get 10 clients, or like even like how much you earn if it's on a royalty rate. You may not, that might be out of your hands, but perhaps it's not out of your hands so much. Maybe what you do is say, I'm going to make $10,000, and you have to write 30 promos or something like that. I don't know, until one catches fire and it makes you all the money that you want to make. But there is one copywriting lesson to remember. Skip this one lesson and you always earn $0. Always be creating something. Always be writing. And I think one last thing I want to say is, when it comes to these big ideas and like what you're, my beard's a little messy, I'm trying to fix it. When it comes to these big ideas and like your headlines and like if you're trying to be unique, new, easy, safe, and big, all that stuff, nobody knows for sure what exactly is going to be the blockbuster. I've heard legends. I've heard guys who have been in the market for years. You know, I've heard Agora Financial's publisher Joe Schrafer say, like, there have been promos that I was certain would bomb, and they turned out to be the biggest hits. End of America came out a long time ago, got like 300,000 names, 300,000 new customers. That's ungodly amount. That's huge. It's enormous. And the person who published it, I believe, thought it was going to be a bomb, a total dud. Like, this will never work. And that's a story I've heard anyway. And it's like, you can never know, man. So I think one of the things that this guy who's outpacing me, out-earning me, and out-producing me, one of the lessons that he's kind of taught me is you got to just write it. Don't ask for too much permission. Like, sure, share your idea. Share your idea. You know, it's cool to get feedback, but don't, if you want to write it, write it. If you want to write it, all you're going to hear from people is something like why it may or may not work. I don't really think that the big idea where your jaw just drops and you go, oh, that's a great idea. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen. So some of the dumbest things make the most money. Things like, you know, the best day in stock history, the day the world stood still, like just the most plain Jane things, right? Those are the headlines that weirdly make a gajillion dollars. The Money Zone promo that we went over way back when, called I'm done with stocks and so are you. What a fantastic promo that turned out to be by Money Map. And it's just like the most simple, like, things, right? Like, that don't really seem like crazy, like unique or crazy, like out of this world, like, oh my God. It's always something very much like that. And I think, so the point I'm trying to make is, you can never know for sure. I don't think there is that golden light bulb. Maybe you feel a golden light bulb, but I don't think there's like the general public are like, oh, why didn't I think of that idea? Maybe yes, maybe no, but for the most part, I think you just need to be writing. And it does come down to like, just if it's something that, you know, vibrates with you, like if it gets you hyped up and gets you excited to write, you kind of got to just write it. And you got to just attack that angle and see what happens. You got to test it. And that's one of the things, I think one of the strengths that has helped me with my career is people keep telling me like that will never work. And I'm like, well, let's just test it. Like, I want to know it won't work. And I think somewhere along the line, I got a little self-conscious or something, or just slowed down. Or I got distracted by YouTube. Something slowed down and allowed other people to skyrocket past me who were just writing. Okay? So, if you want to make a lot of money, you got to write a lot of content. You can think about that in terms of like, look at musicians, dude. Look at Ariana Grande, right? So I'm not a fan of pretty much any of her songs, but there are people. I think she's had like she's like everything she puts out is a hit now, right? And I think Taylor Swift is probably a better example. I really don't like Taylor Swift's music, but like I think back when she was country, she cultivated this audience, right? She had a few hits, and now she can pretty much put out anything and it'll make money. And that's not to say that you as a writer can put out anything and it'll make money, but it is about volume. It's about like just keep producing, just keep making content. And in your case, you'll be writing promos, you'll be writing emails, or you'll be writing sales letters. And that's how you make more money. It doesn't have to be a smash hit every single song, right? Does that make sense? It might be like a weird, wacky, out there analogy, but I do think content creation and writing and music as an industry are so similar when you think about like collaborations. Like if you go on someone else's podcast and they come on yours, like if Eminem does a song with 50 Cent, like, and it's just like they both collect money off that, like the music industry, I think, is a great example of, like, a lot of people like use the gym, like flexing your muscles makes you stronger, etc., etc. I think the music industry is like the perfect analogy for like what we do as writers and as content creators and stuff like that. But yeah, a little bit rambly, but I just want to, push that you just got to write. And there's going to be lots of opportunities for self-doubt. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to tell you that idea probably won't work, or I don't agree with you. And a lot of times they're going to be wrong. A lot of times you're going to be wrong. But some of the time you're going to be right. And those times you're going to make a bunch of money, right? So I think that's all I've got for today, Copy Squad. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you found this useful. Check out my book. It's called Take Their Money. It's a book that will teach you the secret language of copywriting, speaks directly to your customer's emotional brain, bypasses all the logical stuff using new, easy, safe, and big. I need to get more new, easy, safe, and big into my videos. I think I kind of got tired of talking about it so much, and I started just talking about all sorts of other stuff. One other thing that I'm super excited that our course, where I show you how I wrote the sales letter for Take Their Money, is like, it's almost built out. I don't know if I want to call it a course. I think I'd rather just call it a video series. I don't know. It's not necessarily like I don't have assignments. You don't have to do anything. I'll just show you how I wrote the sales letter. So there you go. That's that. I hope you found this useful. Once again, my name's Kyle. Thanks for tuning in. Check out my book, Take Their Money, copywriter.com/book. Peace out. Copy Squad.